So let's take a breath, everyone, please. Let's take a nice breath together. Oh, I should mute there. That. That. Okay. Thank you for joining me today, everyone. I realize it's only a couple of days after we got together for current the other day. This is a different thing. I want to say almost for the same purposes. I know some of you have done this with me for over 4 years now, which I can't believe. We're getting near 5 years. I can't believe it since starting doing this work. And I'm feeling today to speak a bit more to um, the application of this type of work rather than the so much the etheric part of it. Going to do the same thing we always do, given the day it is. But feeling a lot of energy today. Don't know about any of you, but I've been feeling very tired this week, the whole week, and that's the way, isn't it? Let someone else in there. Um, let's just maybe say something about the day. So it's March the 14th, a full moon. I love this stuff. We have a worm moon today. It's a worm moon, right? So it's not a strawberry moon, it's a worm moon. Name of that comes from earthworms, which would begin to come to the surface as the earth warms up a bit, because we're moving slowly into spring, aren't we? That's why it's called the worm moon, that expression of transition. And I like the idea. I like the idea. I don't know that I'm seeing it in, let's say, on the surface or humanity and so on, but I like the idea of a softening and coming to life. Life out there doesn't feel like that at the moment. It feels a lot more erratic, a lot louder, lot sharper, for the best reasons in the long term. But I look at how people are feeling. I look at how people are responding to it, and I don't like seeing people. It doesn't make me happy to see people agitated, worried, scared, and in fear, and so on. Um, and I'm challenged to be philosophical when I do see that, right? Um, I think spirituality it has its merits, of course, in giving context and framing to all these things. But it's um, at the end of the day, it's so that people feel better. When people are concerned about their situation, I always feel for people, and so what we can do here supports in its own way. Doesn't that doesn't do everything, but it supports in its own way. Let me get back to the point. Sort of go off track there. Forgive me. So the influence we got with this full moon is Virgo. Virgo kind of speaks to our habits and how our own interplay with logic and emotion, I want to say, habits and so on. When I was preparing for this, I thought, well, what's a good application? What can maybe make this make sense? Because a lot of these words, a lot of these expressions are a bit vanilla for me. So I thought, well, how about parenting? Several of you are parents of different age groups or whatever it is, and what would this worm moon in Virgo mean for you as parents? And so as parents, we get stuck between putting in rules, and do we enforce the rules in our home environment? We've got this struggle between being disciplined and being empathic to our kids, or maybe speaking for myself. We've just had the daylight saving shift as well, so kids maybe getting to sleep later and having transitional shifts and so on. Do we need to change the rhythm of the family in the family environment, right? And uh, today, yesterday, maybe even the day before that, any full moon is going to amplify emotions, and you see that first of all in the household as well. And so, all right, where is the point to practice patience? Where is the point to draw a line? That's a way of maybe putting this into context for your direct life. For others of you, and I might do this next month. What does that look like at work? What does it look like in an open plan office, or what does it look like driving somewhere? I'd like to give these things context. Anyhow, If any of you joining this for the first time, this body of work was birthed in COVID year when another very, very confusing and concerning time. And the central question was, how can one support, or how can one bring people together and support the movement of stuck energy? Right. My interest, my doorway into that is literally just that. It's stuck energy. And just to give you a sense of that, or a frame of that, if you have an idea and you say, I'm going to go to Poland one day, or I'm going to build a shed in my backyard one day, and you don't do it, well, that energy goes somewhere, doesn't it? That energy just it gets projected into our etheric life and sits there. Um, if you procrastinate, I frequently procrastinate, that's not a you thing, but if you procrastinate, again, that's energy just sitting there. And the accumulation of people's procrastinations and thoughts that have not been brought to form, that in our realm, in our world, can build up and get in the way. At the very least, it gets in the way of things getting done. At worst, it affects our mood. It affects our sense of peace and well-being. That's something I want to move. That's something I'm interested in moving. But it's been an interesting week because I've spoken to at least two people on the subject of supporting to cross my words, discarnates, other people's words, ghosts, other people's words, dead people, right? Supporting to cross people over, right? And one of these conversations, it was a younger girl, and got a very open third eye and real great mediumistic ability in becoming, shall we say. But it's also disconcerting when you're in a certain building there or there or there, and all of a sudden you see someone, but it's not a someone, it's translucent, and it's disconcerting, isn't it? And so, while I don't often talk about ghosts and discarnates and stuck beings in our realm, it is something that a lot of people go through. And there is a middle ground in between being despondent and thinking you can't do anything about it and being in fear of it too. And some of the greatest mediums I've seen, what I remark about is their ability to have such love and deep compassion for these beings that are sort of stuck in place. They see them as lost children. And they approach these beings as lost children. What would you do if you saw a lost child in the street, the bus stop? You would just surround them with love and support them to go where they want to go. I think everyone has done this for discarnates several times without even knowing it, right? And so rather than seeing mediumistic ability as this thing that person can do, or that person can do, that person can do, start from a place of compassion and love. So what we're going to do here, right? Start from a place of compassion and love, and some remarkable things can happen from there in your home, in your neighborhood, in your schools, and so on. But as for right now, that's say one of the two or three focuses of moving energy that's stuck from this realm, how it's affecting us, but I would say even more importantly, how it's affecting people who don't even know that they have a choice. And so we get together like this to help, yes, support ourselves, but much more than that, to support other people. When we got together on Tuesday, some of you that joined me for current, we're accessing, we're connecting a very, very powerful realm and letting that do its thing. With this, I was thinking about this today, and I hope this makes sense. It's more about empowering and arming ourselves to directly elevate ourselves with due diligence, right? From a bit more third and fourth dimensional expression into a bit more fourth and fifth dimensional expression to the point that we can take some of this stuckness with us to a higher realm and let it go on from there. I pray that what I just said made sense, because I don't think I'll be able to say it again, and certainly don't think I'll be able to say it make more sense than that. But rather than start by talking about Merkabas, by talking about archangels and so on, I want to talk about you. And you are the owner of a physical vessel, and you are a powerful spirit, an expression of a soul in command of a physical vessel that can do a hell of a lot more than you might think it can do. And this is but a speck of a speck of a blip of a speck of a blip of what that can do, especially once we connect with each other and make a larger blip. And so, in so shall we say tangible terms, for the 20, 30 minutes that we're together, what we're going to do, we're going to at some point, I'm going to shut up talking, open up in prayer, shift the energy around us, get us connected. We're going to call this kind of field around us, which is already there. It's already there. This Merkaba field, it's the same field that's around our planet, the very same. This is what I understand. Going to elevate our energy further and go to what I would call an etheric retreat, an etheric temple, right? And if you want to see that in a different sense, take this, magnify it by about 100 times and make it much more intricately complicated. That's the sort of field around you when we go to an etheric retreat. You more commonly go to etheric retreats and etheric temples when you're sleeping. Happens quite often. And we're going to go there. We're going to go there, and through a directed will and directed intention, that's where the stuckness that we're bringing with us is going to go, right, in an organized and a supported and loving way. And then we do it in reverse. We come back to our bodies, and then we go on with our day, do what we need to do. Oh, I don't know, for example, like picking our brother up from the airport. That's what I will be doing later on. But he is flying with American Airlines, not with a Merkaba. As far as I know, I haven't had that conversation with him. I think that's all that needs to be said. I do talk a lot, don't I? All right. So there's really nothing you need to do. When I've sat in on guided meditations, sometimes I find them hard to follow. I don't know. And if that's the case for you, or if you get lost in this, or whatever, or if you miss something or don't hear, just breathe. Your contribution is absolutely important, absolutely significant, just so you know. All right, all the talking. Let's close our eyes. Let's begin with prayer. Make yourself comfortable. I think we have a couple of cats with us this evening, so thank you, cats. Let's close our eyes, please. Heavenly Father, Mother, God, Goddess, sweet essence of light, of levity, of purity, of hope, of joy, of co-creation, we call to you in this moment, through us, as us, around us. As we, in this moment, as we breathe, we center ourselves, and we begin by grounding our energy and sending that downwards, connecting or reconnecting with the earth energy, grounding ourselves in our body and grounding ourselves in this moment. Feeling your spirit fully inhabit your body there. Connecting with the earth. Connecting with the earth, if you can do that vibrationally, wonderful. If you do that mentally, wonderful as well. Each one of us connecting, grounding, owning our experience. Wonderful. As so below, so too above. So too above, equally as your vibration, your intention cuts through the fog and the morass of collective mind. We connect above us to Father Sky, sacred masculine above, sacred feminine below, connected through the conduit that you are. Let's breathe there. Let's breathe there. Let's breathe as we're shifting our energetic state, coming into more alignment. I call to the love of the archangels around us, honoring the four directions around us, and requesting this light and this love of support to be shone and directed to us from all sides, including above and below. I call to all of our higher selves, the greatest aspect of us, the directive principle of us. Gratefully asking this aspect to calibrate us for this work. And on this day, this full moon, support us to release truly what we do not need, the patterns that we do not need, the habits that we do not need, support us to break through them, to elevate and clear them. I am calling forth the very highest good of our time together this evening. And so in the name of love, in the name of the Christ, I am presence. I am the activity. Calling forth highest light, the beloved Archangel Azrael, to be our leading presence for this work. To guide us, to hold our frequency, and to lead so much and so many into the light. We say thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Amen. Let's breathe now. Let's breathe, bring a smile to your face if you will, or if you wish. Because only good comes from what we do. And so let's have the eyes closed now. Let's allow yourself to go deeper into your experience. If you begin, let's see the Merkaba field around us. In simplicity, that is two three-sided pyramids. And the first one faces downwards, and its point, its peak, is about a foot below your feet. Its base is around your shoulders. The other one faces the opposite direction. The peak is about a foot above your head. Its base is around your knees. It would, as it were, almost be a three-dimensional Star of David. So let these two pyramids begin to spin in opposite directions now. And faster and faster and faster. It would almost be seen like a bubble around you, a sphere around you. Faster and faster. This vessel that is the Merkaba, and let us all elevate from the ground together. Let us leave this place of origin and travel together. And so we leave at speed of light. Just breathe, just breathe. As we breathe and you focus, you center, If you were to look to your left and right, you would see the others in this group doing the same. As we travel at the speed of light and we see a vast structure on the horizon below us, and we begin to slow down and descend towards it. Breathe as we touch the ground. Feel the ground beneath your feet. A Merkaba vessel dissipates around us. We walk together. We see a vast stone staircase leading up to this cathedral-like building. Breathe. Breathe as we climb this staircase. Feel the sense of excitement, anticipation as we do so. At the top of this vast staircase, we're met by two 14-foot angels who smile and bow to us. They open the doors. We walk in. Breathe. We walk in, we enter this beautiful, beautiful structure, the size of a baseball stadium. We are in this atria. Huge building. It would seem to us to be built entirely of crystal. As you gaze around it, you see the angelic activity on all levels. And we are beckoned into the center of this room. Some of you will be familiar to this by now, of course. For in the center of this room, there is a circle of crystalline chairs. And in the center of this circle, there is a fire burning. It is an etheric fire burning. We are in the Etheric Temple of Ascension. And this fire, this flame, is the flame, the expressive will of ascension. We're brought into the center of this room, and each of us takes a seat in a crystalline chair, and you notice how the chair is perfectly attuned to our body and our back. We feel a warm pair of hands gently place themselves upon our shoulders. This is the loving activity of an angel of the temple that has been assigned to us to support us. Feel how familiar their touch is. Feel the love from them. And as we sit in circle, ready to work, beloved Azrael, a vast figure of radiant light, walks into the center, bows to us, points at the flame, and expands it both in height and diameter. Around this, he calls a column from within the flame, and this also he expands to the height of the temple. He expands the diameter so that we all sit within it. Breathe again. From out of the flame comes a beam of light into our chests. A current of energy then goes in circle through all of us repeatedly. Let us breathe for a moment together and attune to this. our attention is brought to near the top of this temple, and 4 portals open. And from out of each of these portals, the etheric debris, as I have been calling stuck energy, flows out and into this column. From all 4 sides, it flows in, and it reaches the column, and it's changed in state and moved on, moved higher, brought to a higher realm. See that from all sides. Just breathe. Breathe and know that what you do for others, what you do for the collective, you equally do for yourself. Let your stomach relax. At the same level of this temple, an additional 4 portals open. And more of this directed energy can go into the column to be transmuted. Just see that coming. Azrael raises the intensity of the column that we sit within. Just breathe. For as the vibration, the light, and the intensity of love around you from whatever the presentation is increases, so its opposite is brought to the fore. Necessarily so. That is to say, what you no longer require leaves you because you no longer require it. And as you breathe and you act as a placeholder, a counterpart, a bridge, from these higher realms to our earth realm, reflect upon the choice that you make in doing so. How indicative it is of other choices to be of service, to be of support, to magnify goodness. Reminding yourself that you do this countless times each day. All around in the temple, hundreds of angels watch our work with appreciation. Higher up still, near the, as it were, roof of this temple, additional portals open. And from here, it is the discarnates. It is the beings that are stuck. It is those that have left their bodies and not been able to reach the light and not known that they were even there. And for the grace of our work, opportunity is given to them to be brought to the light, to go on with the journey of their soul. And from all sides, from the portals, these beings come in their hundreds. Into the column of light. Just breathe. Just breathe. And as you hold space in this beautiful way, beloved Azrael offers to each of you in this moment a simple offering to request whatever it is that you want or need. Just make the request with your mind and know that it is being heard. For as you give, you receive. Our work is reaching its point of conclusion. And at the very top of this temple, the last of these remaining discarnates enters the column. The last of the remaining stuck energy leaves the portals and enters the columns, and there is stillness. Let us be for a moment. The portals close. Beloved Azrael withdraws the ray of light. The flame of ascension is returned to its original size. The ray of light from the flame to your chest is withdrawn. The current that flows between all of us ceases. We breathe. From behind us, the angel that has been supporting and service us kindly embraces us. Each one bows to us and leaves. Beloved Azrael, in its vastness, also bows to us. Together we leave our seats, we return to our feet. We begin to walk toward the door. Take a moment, if you see in your mind's eye, to gaze around the temple, a reminder important as ever and always that you can return here, that you belong here. Your work is appreciated here. As we walk towards the doors, the vast doors, they open. We all walk together out. The gatekeepers of this temple smile at us, bring a hand to their chest in appreciation. Together we walk down the steps. We stand together once again, and once again we call our Merkaba fields around us. If you wish, just imagine a sphere of light around you. See it spinning faster and faster and faster. Together once again, we elevate from the ground, we leave the ground, we begin our return to our place of origin. Breathe. Deep, full breaths as I count us back from 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3. Hear the sounds in your room, the smells in your room, the temperature. 2, 1. Take a deep, full breath, please. Take a deep, full breath. Relax your stomach again. Again, a deep, unifying breath. You might like to, as I like to say, just rub your eyes and your cheeks, your ears. Just get that chi flowing around your body again. Open your eyes when you would like to. Take a drink if you have it. What is even worth saying? You know, like some of you see much, much clearer than I do. I know you do. Um, and it's not a competition, obviously, just not, but a celebration of uniqueness. But I wish I could. I think I've said this before. I wish I could convey to you the appreciation that's there for us. I wish I could show you what happens over your life and your incarnation in this body, and then further just because of doing something like this. And it's not like, yay, me. No, this is just an occasion that you've given to clicking with other people, and you do your own things, you do other things, you do plenty of things. But what happens when you do something like this? It makes a difference. It makes a difference. You just think what would happen if people didn't do stuff like this. Um, you think what would happen if people weren't making an effort. You think what would happen if people weren't making that effort to shift into kindness and compassion, even though they don't have to, even though they get nothing from it. You think what would happen if people didn't do that, right? You want to live in that world? I don't want to live in that world. Okay. So, so thank you. If you can hear, if you can hear me, thank you. I don't need to keep you all anymore tonight. A request, if I can, and this is those of you that have been in my Doves group for some years now, as I'm getting ready to launch the next version of it, the new platform of it, it would really help um, those of you that have been with me for that group, it would really, really, really help to get some testimonials of your experience in that group. If it's just those of you who've been with me for these 3, 4 years, if you can message me or text me with that, if you're willing to, I'd really appreciate that. All right, just a couple of sentences, that would be wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. Um, I'm in Cleveland next week, so I'm not going to be doing really any of this, but the following week I will. There we go. So thank you, everyone. Thank you so much. Thank you so, so much. Have a wonderful weekend. Wonderful, wonderful weekend. Happy full moon, happy eclipse. Toodaloo. And I'll see you.
Thank
Thank you,
you.
Joshua.
Thank you, Joshua.
Thanks, everybody.
Thank you.